Hello, this is Mila Vujovich-La from Laguna Middle School and KG14. We're ready to go ahead and look at some practice questions and answers for the Chapter 2 U.S. History Test. Why did the population of Jamestown plummet between 1609 and the spring of 1610? A combination of famine, disease, and a harsh winter killed many in the colony. 2. How did the Powhatan Confederacy help the Jamestown colonists? The Powhatan taught the colonists how to grow North American crops such as corn. 3. What brought the Powhatan Confederacy to an end? A Virginia colonist killed a Powhatan leader. Number 4. How did the London Company's headright system work? It encouraged colonists to move to Virginia by giving 50 acres of land per person to individuals and groups who paid their own way. Why did many English Catholics come to America in the 1600s? To escape a kingdom that did not allow them to worship freely. Number 6. Who proposed the Toleration Act of 1649 and why? Lord Baltimore, to outlaw the restriction of the religious rights of Christians in Maryland. 7. Why was the Toleration Act of 1649 significant to America's development? It symbolized the American value of protecting the freedom of individuals and minority groups. 8. What was a factor in Virginia colonists' decision to use slave labor? There were not enough indentured servants to meet the high demand for workers. 9. Which statement is true of the southern colonies in the late 1600s? The important cash crops were tobacco, rice, and indigo. 10. Which colonies had the strictest slave codes? The colonies with the most slaves. 11. Which of the following statements fails to explain why the Pilgrims migrated to America? Some of them developed a new form of Protestantism and dreamed of founding a Church of New England. 12. The Mayflower Compact could best be described as an early attempt at self-government in the English colonies. 13. What effect did the Mayflower Compact have on the development of constitutional democracy in America? It rested the authority of governments on covenants or sacred agreements. 14. What have some historians called Minister Thomas Hooker the father of American democracy? 15. Anne Hutchinson believed that people could have a relationship with God without guidance from ministers. Why did that belief anger Puritan church leaders? Her idea posed a threat to their authority in the community. 16. Which quotation best expresses the point of view of a New England colonist on education? All children need to be able to read the Bible. 17. Compared with the South, what disadvantage did New England farmers face? A. Regional farms did not support many cash crops. Again, regional farms did not support many cash crops. 18. Which group did not participate in New England's early economy? Manufacturers. 19. New England had plenty of forest. How does this fact connect to the economic importance of shipbuilding to the region? The supply of wood enabled shipbuilders to construct vessels to meet the needs of various traders. 20. How were the middle colonies different from the northern and southern colonies? Generous land grants and religious tolerance brought people to the middle colonies. 21. What one thing made the middle colonies different from both northern and southern colonies? Staple crops. 22. What contribution did slaves make to the economy of the middle colonies? They worked in cities at skilled crafts such as blacksmithing and carpentry. 23. The staple crops that supported the middle colonist included wheat, oats, and barley. 24. In large part, who filled the growing labor needs of the economy of the middle colonies? And that was indentured servants in the middle colonies. 25. How did trade support the economy of the middle colonies? Merchants in Philadelphia and New York City exported wheat to foreign markets. 26. What was the objective of the English Bill of Rights? To reduce the power of the English monarch. 27. The political ideas of which event shaped the English Bill of Rights? That would be the Glorious Revolution. 28. What was the significance of the English Bill of Rights? It influenced the writers of the U.S. Constitution. In the European nations, the practice of carefully controlling trade to create and maintain wealth was called mercantilism. 30. What was the purpose of the series of navigation acts passed by Parliament between 1650 and 1696 to require colonists to do their trading only with England? 31. From the late 1600s to the early 1700s, colonists did all of the following to undermine British restrictions on trade except charge taxes on goods exported to England. What was the Great Awakening? A religious movement that swept through the colonies and changed colonial religion, society, and politics. What effect did the ideas of the Great Awakening have on political life in the colonies during the 1730s? Sermons on spiritual equality led colonists to ask for political equality, which set the stage for the American Revolution. What was the social impact of the Great Awakening? It unified various groups of Americans who shared evangelical beliefs. In 1753, who fought the British over settlements in the Ohio River Valley? And that was the French. What event marked the start of the French and Indian War? George Washington surrendered to the French. How did the French and Indian War change the map of North America? Britain received Florida from Spain. 38. In 1764, Parliament passed the Sugar Act in response to Prime Minister George Grenville's request to tax the colonists. Why did the British Prime Minister make that request? To pay the cost of the French and Indian War. 39. Colonists who were upset by Parliament's effort to tax them might have made all of the following remarks, except which? In the boycotts now. Why was the Stamp Act of 1765 particularly upsetting to the colonists? It was the first time Parliament had tried to tax colonists directly. 41. What event directly sparked the Boston Massacre? A British soldier standing guard hit a colonist during an argument. 42. What was the significance of the Boston Tea Party? C. It showed how unhappy colonists were with British laws. 43. Why did Parliament repeal almost all of the Townshend Acts? It wanted to reduce tension in the colonies. What word best describes the response of Britain's Lord North to news of the Boston Tea Party? He was furious. What did colonists call the course of acts passed by Parliament in spring 1774? The Intolerable Acts. And lastly, Massachusetts was punished for the Boston Tea Party in the following ways, except which one? Bostonians had to search for and recover the discarded tea. Again, study early and often. Good luck on your Chapter 2 test. We're headed towards the American Revolution after this. Signing off from G14.